Hello and welcome to Happy Handicrafts. My name is Joanna and today we are going to be making a Paper Sloyd twine holder. This project is from the book Paper Sloyd for Primary Grades by Ednah Anne Rich. It is the 14th project from the 3rd year. It's basically a small basket which would hold a ball of twine. Could also be yarn or thread, whatever you choose, with a hole in the middle at the bottom that you would thread the end through for access. This project had a few different techniques in it that we found a little challenging to work through, but as always, we got there, and if you stick with us, we'll get you there too. So the materials you're going to need for this project are the book Paper Sloyd for Primary Grades. We found it especially important with this project as some of the instructions were not super clear and we definitely needed to refer to the diagram. You're also going to need a cutting mat, some twine, a hole punch, an X-Acto knife, some glue, a compass, a pencil, a ruler, and some good quality paper. The book suggests Bristol board for this. You do want it to be fairly firm in order to hold the ball of twine. Now let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to construct a 6 3/4 inch square. So on the back of our paper, we're going to measure in at the top from the left to 6 1/4 inches, and we're going to draw a dot. Then we'll move the ruler down the page and we'll measure in again from the left to 6 3/4 inch. And we'll draw a dot, and then we're going to use our ruler to join those two dots. Oops, we want to get it really straight, so hold that ruler firmly in place. Next, we're going to measure down from the top on the left-hand side to 6 3/4 inch. We'll draw a dot, and then on the vertical line we just drew, we'll measure down from the top to 6 3/4 inch, and we'll draw another dot. Now we're going to join those two dots again with our ruler We'll hold it firmly in place and draw our line. Now we're going to use our X-Acto knife. Along the edge of the ruler, we're going to cut out the 6 3/4 inch square. When you're using a ruler and your X-Acto knife, you want to be really careful because that X-Acto knife can jump. Now using our ruler, we're going to draw diagonals across the square from one corner to the other. So from the top left-hand corner to the bottom right, we're going to draw a line. Then we'll reposition the ruler, and from the bottom left to the top right-hand corner, we're going to draw a line. We're doing this to identify the exact center of the square, which is where the two lines cross. Now we're going to use our compass set at 3 3/8 inch As you can see, we're going to put it at the center, and we're going to draw a big circle around that center. It should go to the very edge. There you go. You can see it goes to the exact edge of the paper on all 4 sides. If you need to reposition it at any time, that's no big deal. Next, we're going to set the compass at 1 3/8 of an inch. And we're going to place dots on the diagonals. So we're kind of using the compass as a ruler. So in each of those straight lines, you're going to put a little dot. And then using your ruler, you're going to connect those dots into a square. We're going to make ours dotted lines because this is going to be a fold line, not a cut line. And that's how the diagram differentiates between the two. Now with the compass still set at 1 3/8 of an inch, we're going to place the point at the intersection of the diagonals with a circle, as you see Lucy doing here. And we're going to place dots on the circumference on each side of those diagonal lines. If you ever find these instructions difficult, that's why we're doing this, so that you can see how to do it. Sometimes it's easier to understand when we see it done, right? Now we're going to draw lines from those dots to the corners of the inner squares. Now the upper lines, as you can see here, Lucy's doing a solid line. These are going to be cut lines. So the upper and lower lines are going to be solid. Now the ones on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side are going to be dotted lines. These are going to be the fold lines. Definitely refer to the diagram with this, because I know it can maybe be a little unclear. Next, we're going to set the compass to 1/2 inch. And we're going to place dots on the circle and on the slanting lines. I think the easiest way to understand this would just be to watch what Lucy's doing. Now, once you're done this, you can punch a hole in the center if you choose. We decided not to because we're going to use this more as a basket. But if you want to thread twine through the bottom of it, go ahead and punch your hole in the middle. Lucy's just connecting the dots that she just drew. These are going to be all solid lines, and they're only on the left and the right hand side, because you can see they're going to be the tabs. Now we're going to put dots in the corners. These are going to be holes. We're going to punch holes in them later on. And now, using our X-Acto knife, we're going to cut out along the solid lines, around the circle and in the solid lines. The book always has these really dark lines to guide your cuts, so it might be helpful to refer to the book again. Now, we made a mistake here. We decided to punch holes before we folded and pasted it. So you can do it, it's not a huge deal, but you're gonna have to re-punch some holes later on. So my suggestion would be actually follow the instructions in the book and wait to punch holes until you've glued it all together, okay? Now we're going to use our ruler along the dotted lines just to do our initial folds. We like to use our ruler for this because it gives us nice straight folds. Then we reinforce those folds with a flat surface like the front of the ruler. It gets them nice and crisp. Once you've done all your folds, you're simply going to fold the tabs. We can start on the upper part, fold the tabs in and put glue on them. Then you're going to fold it in and keep the tabs on the inside. Do you see now how we are actually covering that hole that we just punched out? So we're going to have to go back and punch out those 2 holes. Now hold that in place until the glue sets. And now we'll do the other side. Fold those tabs in, cover them with glue, and then we'll fold them in. Make sure they're well aligned and hold those tabs until the glue is nicely set. Now we're going to have to go back. As you can see, those holes are pasted over, so we're going to go back with our hole punch and punch out those holes again. It's not all of them, it's 4 of them, so half of them. You're going to need a good hole punch for this because our hole punch didn't want to go through freshly pasted paper. So there's our basket. Now we're going to make the ties. We measured out about 16 inches for these ties, very loosely, not very accurately, because we're going to trim them later on. You're going to cut 4 of them. So we're going to put 1 on each corner. Now you're just going to thread your twine through the corner holes. You can also, alternatively, you can do this from the side as well. You can put the ties through opposite sides to hold it. So we thread it through the corner and then tie them in knots. I will say in the end, we found this to be a lot of ties. And so the twine almost, I know there's almost too much twine, so it was hard to hang it. So next time we might just do the ties on the side. As you're going along, you want to measure to make sure that the ties are all about the same length, okay? Otherwise it won't hang evenly. And the last one, we're going to thread through the corner. We'll tie it and then we'll trim it. And that will be it. And there's our twine holder, except we didn't use it for twine. We don't really have a use for twine holders. So just for fun, we put some garlic in it and hung it in our pantry, and I think it looks kind of cute hanging there. So I hope you enjoyed this project. We loved having you with us. Please like, comment, and share. We appreciate any time you do that. And we'll see you in the next video.